When most people think of Phuket Island, they picture a single beach. Usually it's Patong, the crowded shoreline, the famous sunsets, the beach clubs, the nightlife, the endless stream of tourists from every corner of the world. But here's something many visitors never realize. Patong is just one small piece of a much bigger story. Because Phuket isn't home to one famous beach, it's home to 36 beaches. And each one has its own personality, history, and hidden secrets. Imagine standing on a tropical island where nearly every stretch of coastline feels like a completely different destination. That's Phuket. On one side of the island, you'll find lively beaches packed with restaurants, jet skis, music, and nightlife. On another side, just a short drive away, you can discover quiet coves where the only sounds are waves and birds. Some beaches attract luxury travelers, others attract surfers. Others remain largely unknown, even to regular visitors. Patong Beach is undoubtedly the island's superstar. Every year, millions of tourists walk along its golden sands. Today, it's famous for entertainment, shopping, and nightlife. But Patong wasn't always a tourist magnet. Only a few decades ago, it was a relatively quiet fishing community. The transformation began in the 1970s, when international travelers started discovering Phuket's natural beauty. As tourism exploded, Patong evolved into one of the most recognizable beach destinations in Asia. Yet many locals will tell you that Patong isn't necessarily Phuket's most beautiful beach. For that title, opinions vary dramatically. Some point to Kata Beach, known for its crystal-clear waters and excellent surfing conditions. Others prefer Karan Beach, famous for its long stretch of sand and more relaxed atmosphere. Many choose Nai Harn Beach, tucked away in the island's southern region and often considered one of Phuket's hidden gems. What's fascinating is that Phuket's beaches exist because of the island's unique geography. The western coast faces the Andaman Sea and receives powerful wave action that gradually shaped beautiful sandy bays over thousands of years. The eastern coast, meanwhile, is more sheltered and characterized by mangroves, fishing villages, and quieter waters. This natural variation created an extraordinary diversity of coastal environments. Perhaps the most remarkable fact is that even after decades of development, it's still possible to find beaches where you feel completely disconnected from the modern world. Places where Phuket looks much the same as it did generations ago. And that's part of the island's magic. No matter how many tourists arrive each year, Phuket still has room for discovery. Behind every famous beach lies another one waiting to be explored. And somewhere among those 36 beaches, every visitor finds their own version of paradise. You can see it from miles away. High above Phuket's beaches, hotels, and busy streets sits a giant white figure watching over the island. For many visitors, it's the first thing they notice. For locals, it's much more than a tourist attraction. And for thousands of people each year, it's a place of reflection, spirituality, and inspiration. This is Phuket's Big Buddha. One of the most iconic landmarks in all of Thailand, standing atop Nukkard Hill between Chalong and Kata, the Big Buddha rises nearly 46 meters, or about 150 feet, above the island below. Covered in brilliant white Burmese marble, the statue seems to glow under the tropical sun. From a distance, it almost looks unreal, like something carved directly from the clouds. But what makes the Big Buddha truly fascinating isn't its size, it's what the monument represents. Thailand is a deeply Buddhist country. More than 90% of the population identifies as Buddhist. Temples, shrines, and religious traditions are woven into everyday life. The Big Buddha serves as both a spiritual symbol and a reminder of values such as compassion, mindfulness, and inner peace. Construction began in 2004 and was funded primarily through donations. Unlike many major monuments around the world, this wasn't a project financed by a wealthy government or billionaire investor. Instead, thousands of ordinary people contributed to its creation. Visitors can still sponsor marble tiles today. Each tile represents a small personal contribution to something much larger. The journey to the summit is an experience in itself. As visitors climb the winding road up the mountain, the sounds of the city gradually disappear. The atmosphere becomes quieter, calmer, more reflective. By the time people reach the statue, many are surprised by the sense of peace they feel. And then there are the views. From the top, you can see much of southern Phuket. The Andaman Sea stretches endlessly toward the horizon. Beaches appear as thin golden ribbons along the coastline. Green mountains roll across the landscape. On a clear day, the scenery is breathtaking. Many travelers arrive expecting a quick photo stop. Instead, they often stay much longer. Because the Big Buddha isn't simply something you look at, it's something you experience. A place where Phuket's natural beauty, cultural heritage, and spiritual traditions come together in a way that's impossible to forget. Imagine relaxing on a beach in Phuket Island. You look up, and suddenly, sitting just a few tables away, is a Hollywood movie star. It sounds unlikely, but on Phuket, it happens more often than you might think. Over the years, some of the world's biggest celebrities have visited this tropical island, and once you understand why, it becomes obvious. Phuket offers something many celebrities value more than luxury: privacy. While the island is world famous, it also contains secluded beaches, private villas, hidden coves, and exclusive resorts where high-profile visitors can escape public attention. For actors, musicians, athletes, and supermodels, that's incredibly attractive. Among the famous names associated with Phuket are Naomi Campbell, Kate Moss, Leonardo DiCaprio, and many others. Some visit for vacations. Others attend private events, weddings, or charity functions. Some arrive aboard luxury yachts that anchor offshore. Leonardo DiCaprio's connection to Thailand is particularly well known because of the movie The Beach. Although the film was primarily associated with Maya Bay on nearby Phi Phi Island, it helped introduce millions of people to Thailand's tropical landscapes. Following the film's release, international interest in southern Thailand skyrocketed. But celebrities aren't drawn to Phuket only because it's beautiful. Luxury accommodations on the island rank among the best in the world. Many private villas include infinity pools overlooking the Andaman Sea, personal chefs, private beaches, and world-class security. Some properties rent for tens of thousands of dollars per night. Yet despite all the luxury, Phuket still offers authentic experiences. Visitors can explore local markets, visit temples, take boat trips to remote islands, enjoy Thai cuisine, or simply watch the sunset from a quiet beach. That combination of exclusivity and authenticity is rare, and it's one reason so many famous people return again and again. In a world where celebrities can travel almost anywhere, Phuket continues to compete with destinations like the Maldives, Saint-Tropez, Ibiza, and Hawaii. That's remarkable. And it says a lot about the island's unique appeal. Here's a surprising question. What if tourism disappeared from Phuket tomorrow? What would happen to the island? Most people assume Phuket depends entirely on visitors. And while tourism is certainly the largest industry, the truth is more complicated. Because behind the resorts and beaches lies another Phuket, a working island economy that many travelers never notice. One of the most important industries is rubber production. Drive away from the tourist areas, and you'll see vast rubber plantations covering parts of the landscape. Rubber trees produce a milky white liquid called latex. Workers carefully tap the bark, collecting the latex in small containers before dawn. The process hasn't changed much for generations. Natural rubber remains an important export. It's used in everything from automobile tires to medical equipment. Many people use products containing Thai rubber every day without realizing where it originated. Fishing is another major industry. For centuries, Phuket's location in the Andaman Sea has supported thriving fishing communities. Long before tourists arrived, local families depended on the ocean for their livelihoods. Today, seafood harvested in waters around Phuket is exported to markets around the world. Frozen fish products represent a significant source of income for the island and the surrounding region. Agriculture also plays a surprisingly important role. Phuket produces pineapples, palm oil, and cashew nuts. Cashew nuts are especially interesting. Many visitors purchase packaged cashews as souvenirs without realizing they're buying one of Phuket's traditional agricultural products. Palm oil plantations contribute to the regional economy as well. Although often overshadowed by tourism, agricultural production supports thousands of jobs and helps diversify the island's economic base. This hidden side of Phuket reveals an important truth. The island is far more than a vacation destination. It's a place where people live, work, raise families, and build communities. Tourism may dominate the headlines, but behind the beach resorts exists a much deeper and more complex economy. So the next time you visit Phuket, look beyond the coastline, beyond the hotels, beyond the tourist attractions. Because the real story of the island isn't found only on the beaches. It's found in the rubber plantations before sunrise, in the fishing boats returning to harbor, in the pineapple fields, and in the generations of local people whose lives helped shape Phuket long before the first tourists ever arrived. When people think about Phuket today, they imagine beaches, resorts, and luxury vacations. But what if I told you that the island's modern prosperity wasn't built on tourism at all? It was built on a metal hidden beneath the ground. A metal so valuable that it attracted merchants, investors, adventurers, and immigrants from across Asia and Europe. That metal was tin. For centuries, tin was one of the world's most important industrial resources. Before plastics became common, tin was used in everything from food containers to machinery and construction materials. Demand was enormous, and Phuket happened to sit on some of the richest tin deposits in Southeast Asia. By the 19th century, the island was experiencing something similar to a gold rush. Thousands of workers arrived from southern China, hoping to build better lives. Entire communities grew around the mines. Roads were built, businesses appeared, fortunes were made. Many of today's historic buildings in old Phuket town were funded by wealthy tin mine owners. In fact, without the tin boom, modern Phuket might never have developed into the island we know today. Tourism came much later. Tin was the industry that changed everything. Imagine an enemy army landing on the island. The governor is dead. The defenders are badly outnumbered. defeat seems inevitable. And then two women save the entire island. It sounds like a Hollywood movie, but it actually happened. In 1785, during the Burmese-Siamese Wars, Burmese forces invaded Phuket, which was then known as Talang. The island had few soldiers and little hope of resisting. Two local women, Chan and Mook, organized the defense. They gathered residents and reportedly used a clever deception. Women were dressed as male soldiers and positioned on defensive walls. From a distance, the Burmese believed a large army was protecting the island. After weeks of fighting and uncertainty, the Burmese withdrew. The island survived. Today, the Heroines' Monument stands as one of Phuket's most important landmarks. Every resident knows their story. And without those two women, Phuket's history could have been very different. Today, tourists take boat tours through the Andaman Sea. But centuries ago, sailing these waters could get you robbed, kidnapped, or killed. Because the seas around Phuket were once filled with pirates, the island sat directly on one of Asia's busiest maritime trade routes. Merchant ships carrying silk, spices, gold, ceramics, and precious goods regularly passed nearby. Where there is valuable cargo, pirates inevitably follow. Pirates attacked merchant vessels, raided coastal settlements, and disrupted trade throughout the region. Some pirate groups became so powerful that local governments struggled to stop them. Many hidden coves and bays around Phuket that now attract tourists once served as excellent hiding places for pirate ships. It's strange to think that today's luxury yacht anchorages were once pirate hideouts. Most visitors only know Patong Beach, and that's a mistake, because Phuket is home to 36 different beaches. 36. Each beach feels like a different world. Patong offers nightlife and crowds. Kata attracts surfers. Korone provides wide-open sands. Nai Harn feels peaceful and secluded. Freedom Beach can only be reached by boat or a steep jungle path. What surprises many visitors is how quickly the atmosphere changes. Drive 10 minutes from a crowded tourist area, and you can find a nearly empty stretch of coastline. That's one reason Phuket became such a successful tourist destination. The island doesn't offer one beach experience, it offers dozens. Every traveler can find their own version of paradise. Walk through old Phuket town, and you might briefly wonder if you've somehow left Thailand. The architecture looks completely different, and there's a fascinating reason why. During the tin mining boom, wealthy Chinese merchants built elegant shophouses and mansions. European architectural influences mixed with Chinese design traditions. The result became known as Sino-Portuguese architecture. Bright colors, decorative facades, ornate windows, covered walkways. Today, Old Phuket Town is one of the island's most photogenic locations. Yet every building tells a story about trade, migration, and cultural exchange that shaped Phuket for generations. One ordinary morning changed the island forever, and the entire world was watching. On December 26, 2004, a massive earthquake near Sumatra triggered one of the deadliest tsunamis in recorded history. Huge waves swept across the Indian Ocean. Parts of Phuket's coastline were struck without warning. Lives were lost. Communities were devastated. Families were separated. Yet, what happened afterward became a story of resilience. The island rebuilt. New warning systems were installed. Infrastructure improved. and Phuket recovered faster than many experts thought possible. Today, the tsunami remains one of the most significant events in modern Phuket history. Imagine walking through a crowded festival where participants pierce their cheeks with swords, metal rods, and even household objects. It sounds unbelievable. Yet every year it happens in Phuket. The Phuket Vegetarian Festival is one of the world's most unusual religious celebrations. It originated within the island's Chinese community more than a century ago. Participants believe that spiritual devotion and ritual practices bring protection and good fortune. The event includes processions, ceremonies, firecrackers, and acts that many visitors find shocking. Photographs from the festival regularly appear in international media because few cultural events anywhere in the world are quite as visually dramatic. Here's perhaps the most surprising fact of all. The Phuket that millions visit today barely existed a few decades ago. In the 1960s, there were very few hotels. Many roads were unpaved. Most beaches were undeveloped. Tourism was minimal. Then word spread. Travelers discovered the island. Investors followed. Airports expanded. Hotels multiplied. Entire coastal areas transformed. Within a single human lifetime, Phuket evolved from a relatively quiet island economy into one of the world's most recognizable tropical destinations. That's what makes Phuket so fascinating. It's not only an ancient island with a rich history, it's also one of the most dramatic tourism success stories of the modern era. A place where pirates, miners, merchants, monks, fishermen, movie stars, and millions of travelers have all left their mark on the same extraordinary island.
peut-être des trucs au coconuts là pour rentrer.
Hay mặc nên người mình cả nơi ra đây.
We're not cooking it tonight, man. Okay, kiddo. We're walking back. Here. Take your chance.